Let me know. Okay, we're gonna shut up over there. Okay, we're gonna finish the self-defense techniques, the basic grabbing type of techniques. Then we're gonna go on to punching and some club attack and some knife attack. Let's finish off with doing a grab. Everybody always likes these little grab techniques. We're gonna start off with we'll do an open grab. He grabs me, and the reason why we call this an open grab, grab me that, Henry? Our bodies are facing in the same direction, so this is what we call an open stance, okay? So I'm going to do it on this side so you can see what's taking place. And we're standing closer so you can see the actual grab. What happens is, if I take my hand and push this way, his thumb loses the ability to grip me here. That's why we go this way. And if he grabbed me this way, I could easily get out by going against his thumb. It's easy to get out of a wrist grab, believe it or not. You don't want to try to pull and struggle with the opponent. What you do is he might punch with this hand over here, right? So I don't want to get punched in the face. So the first thing I want to do is move out of the way of any punches coming in and get out of the hold, okay? So this technique, by the way, is called grasping talon. So he grabs me, and I immediately step this way while forcing against the thumb to release the hold, and then I'm going to augment right here. And as I do, I got my hand checked, so I've got this prepared so I can punch, okay? So it'll look like this. I'm going to step aside here and punch, back knuckle here. Punch the kidney, back knuckle here, wheel kick to the body, okay? So here's how it looks. We're going to sidestep, breaking free, try to throw it too far. And then we're going to come back with a punch to the body, back knuckle, and wheel kick to the sternum. Okay? So come in. Okay? Just like that. Did you were able to see the footwork, Scott? What we're doing basically is we're just stepping into our fighting stance while pushing off here, punching, back knuckle, wheel kick without the hip, just a wheel kick, not a roundhouse kick. Crossing talon. This is where my opponent grabs across, and we're now in a closed stance. It gets a little bit tougher for him to punch across on that side, because what I can do is I can go this way. What I do is I want to go against the thumb this way to get free. While I'm doing that, I'm going to just reverse the grab to here. And while I do that, I want to step in, taking my elbow and levering him, driving him down. What I'm doing is cutting off all of his ability to strike back, because when I come here, what happens is once I start to step into him, going here, he can no longer kick, he can't punch, he's lost his ability to defend. And of course I want to drive hard here. What I do after this is pull him in while I strike here, yank the jaw up, driving back into the spine. Crossing talon. So he comes in and I just whip him around this way. Coming in. Elbow, break, strike. So it'll look like this when you do it by yourself. You'll be practicing this way. You'll apply the wrist lock stepping in. Break, strike, strike. Okay? Reversing talon. This is where the guy grabs you with two hands. Now I don't have to do a lot of work here, because all I have to do is I can get away from this easily just like that. I'm going against both his thumbs now. Barbecue is you know, we're still rolling. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to step this way to the side of the body, basically going into a horse stance. And I'm going to be snapping down to get away. Now I'll do it this way so you can better see it. So grab it on this side, Ray. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming up this way. And a lot of times, you've ever seen katas where you go like this? That's what you're doing. Most people think you're blocking when they see this in Myanmar. Most people, they see a kata and they see you doing this type of thing. They think you're like maybe augmenting a block or something. You could be, but what for? It doesn't take that much to block a punch. Instead, I could be doing this here. Boom, to get free. But I choose this. It's just close to grasping talon technique. Turn slightly this way, Ray, so they can see as I go this. You keep going with me. Okay, so stay right there. Come over this way, so that way the camera can see what I'm doing here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be coming this way. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be punching here to the rib cage, just like that last technique. Popping here, and I can go to the knee with a side kick, or from here to the groin. So it's simple, just like the last technique. It gets a hold of you. You simply step in, punching here right away, and then pivoting back to the temple. And I go to the groin. So this is what reversing talon would look like if you're practicing it by yourself. You're basically going to be stepping off at an angle while doing this, punching, back fist, front kick, step away. Crouching falcon. This is pretty similar to all of our other choking and grabbing techniques. And what happens is he's stepping in, he's going to either grab or choke or push, but before he gets to me, I immediately step back and go to the groin with a front kick. When I do, I step down, come up, and then palm into the face. Okay? So he starts to come in, and I'm basically going back a little bit. Okay? Front kick, elbow, palm heel. So again, okay? Now notice how I went way into him. I bridged that gap and got in there. Let's do it a little slower. We step back into the cat, and we're parrying outward this way. Boom. So it looked like this when you're practicing it by yourself. From the side view, cat stance, double outward block with the knife hands, front kick, upward elbow, downward palm. From this view, cat stance, block out, pushing the arms away. Front kick, elbow, palm heel. Okay, let's stop for just a second, Scott. Sorry, he likes me. Okay. Okay, Ray's going to get me in a bear hug from the rear. This technique is called laughing. This technique is called Shaolin Warrior. There's like a ABC version of it. We're going to do just one version, where our opponent grabs us in a bear hug. And as soon as I feel him tightening up, what you really want to do, when you're standing, go ahead and relax, Ray. A lot of times, when somebody starts to grab you in a bear hug, you want to do this. Go ahead and grab me, Ray. You immediately want to respond, don't you? You don't want him to get his hands on you. You're going to, oh, somebody's coming on to me. But if you don't know, say your attention's somewhere else, and he gets a hold of you, okay? He's got a good hold. What you're going to do is this. You're going to inhale and start to create tension like this. And then what I'm going to do is I lift up. I'm going to exhale while going under. This way. And I'm going to elbow him in the solar plexus here. And it looks like I'm just doing a reverse punch. I'm going to strike him here, come here to the groin as I go into my cross stance here. Then from here, I'm just going to simply pivot around. Boom. Back fist, reverse punch, okay? And of course, if we haven't knocked him out from here, we can go on farther with more technique if we want. So remember, the main thing is here. He gets a hold of you. Inhale and bring your arms up to create friction, and then you're going to slip out from under him while popping free, see? That's why you're doing this motion, to pop free. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? What I'll do with Ray is instead of going for your groin, I'll just attack your knee instead of the groin. So, I know you appreciate that. Okay, so here's the technique. This is it. Okay? I'm too distracted. Inhale, then give me. Inhale and punch. Coming here, back fist, this way, reverse punch through, kick, land. This is the way I look when you're doing it by yourself. We're clowning around too much to even do the technique right now. So, first thing we do is we inhale, step to the side in a horse stance, clearing the solar plexus so we can get to it with this rear elbow, popping free. Cross stance, strike to the groin here. Turn around, back fist reverse punch. And punch it again if we have to. That's Shaolin Warrior. Okay, we're going to do Shaolin Warrior again from another angle so you can see what it looks like to the side. First of all, remember to breathe in and exhale. Exhale while pushing out and reverse punch, elbow this way. Okay, in the horse. Step into the cross stance, hammer fist strike. From here, pivot around, back fist, reverse punch. Then from this reverse punch, double strike, bam, vertical punch, if I have to. By the time I do this, he should already be down. I shouldn't have to do any more beyond that. Okay. Okay, we're going to do a technique now called arcing blades. And what it is, it's kind of similar to what we did earlier with delayed sword and all that, except we're going to be working with a jab, left jab punch. And we're going to switch sides in a minute so you can see it. But what we do with arcing blades is when we see the punch coming in to the face, we immediately step, as usual, we're always getting out of range. You'll notice, hold your arm for a second right for the punch. You'll notice we're always either sidestepping, going somewhere, or just getting out of the way, period. On this one, too, we do the same thing, where he comes in and we just do a real quick snap kick to the groin while blocking in, boom, boom, knife hands. We'll do it from this side so you can see what's going on. Attack me with your right punch now, Ray, because we're going to do it from this side so that they can see in the film here. What we're going to be doing is going stepping back, going front kick to the groin here, blocking in. Here, stepping in with the double knife hands, bam, bam. Okay, coming back up with a palm heel again. Okay, so we'll do it again slowly so that you can see. Strike, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, what happens if we're here? You say, well, gee, that's a lot of strike. What happens if he comes in? Bam! I go ahead and strike here. What if that knocks him to his knees? Go ahead and go down, Ray. He goes to his knees. I still strike here. Something happens. I see him. All of a sudden, he's on crack or something. He's invincible. And he starts to get back up, right? Hi-ya! See, that's where our other palms come in handy. So get back down, Ray. I strike him. He's been driven. All of a sudden, he wants to get back up again. Boom, boom. So I can still come in, go after it. Okay? That's why we have so many follow-up techniques. We might just come to here, and that'll be the end of the technique. I don't have to go any farther. But we always want to make sure we have plenty of follow-up. So when he attacks, I'm going to the groin because he's still standing. If he was bent over, bam, okay? But you'll see, immediately go to the neck, bam, bam, with the double strikes. Bam, bam. I can do all kinds of things. You can, literally thousands of things you can do. These are just a basic guide for you to follow so that you can lead into other things. Here's how the technique looks. We go back into our cat stance, inward block. Remember to always keep our guard up. Front snap kick. Come in and knife hand strike. Palm heel, palm heel. From this angle, here, knife hand, palm heel strike. Okay? You can stop. Are you ready? Okay, we're going to redo swinging hammers because earlier it's kind of hard to see because of all the darkness of the gis. Okay, so Ray gets in his fighting stance, okay, and he's going to throw a jab punch to the face. Boom. And my first reaction is to get out of the way, right? That's everybody's first reaction. But instead I decided to do this. See, I'm going to come here, hammer fist strike through the jawbone, come into the groin here, back to the face, and punch again. Okay? So I see him come in, and I block here while I'm in my cat stance. Cat here, and what's going on here is what happens if I block here and he starts to punch over here again. The other side, I mean. See, so let's go back and start and throw a double punch. 1, 2, bam. Okay? See, I can go ahead and block again. I can come up with that and just take it up here and go into something else. Okay? I can go to another technique. But in this case, I'm fast enough to where I get in with my hammer fist to the jaw. Hammer fist down here. Hopefully when I hit him here, driving him up, boom, I can pop back up here, bam, and go to the throat, preferably because it's more vulnerable than the jaw. So again, okay? Here's how it looks on tape. We're going to step up, block, cat stance, driving in with a hammer fist. Hammer fist down, back fist, reverse punch, and get back away, stay in your stance at all times. Okay. This technique is called pounding waves, and what it is, it's against a front kick to the groin. Okay. Our opponent can kick with any leg, that's obvious. But he's going to kick me in the groin with a right front kick, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to step past this way, but I'm going to block this. Let's watch. Let's do it again. Take it slow. And notice how I got my guard up here. Throw back this, Ray. See, I got my guard up. I don't want to have my guard down at any time while we're doing our technique. And what I'm doing, the main thing is, when you're sidestepping the kick so that it comes this way, and you're going to hit it with sufficient force and follow through so that it goes that way. You want it to go away from your body, and here's why when he throws the kick. See how I went to the groin immediately? So stay there, Ray. What I did was I blocked here and immediately went up through here to attack the groin area. Now, so hopefully this will buckle him over. And when he does, I'll land down here, punching to the kidney and the kidney. Okay? So we'll do it from this. And notice that I'm not waiting for him to land on the ground before I kick to the groin. Because if I wait that long, it gives him time to start planning a new strategy. So I kick him while he's in the air. I'm kicking to his thigh rather than his groin just for the sake of no injuries occurring. So he throws the front kick. See how I immediately went to the groin? And look where I'm at. I can punch here and here, right to the kidney twice. If I'm striking the groin and the kidney twice, he should be totally out. Once you attack from this angle, Ray, so they can see better. So you're in your fighting stance, and he comes to kick. Bam! Bam! Okay? Coming here, here, boom. Just like this. It's like lots of power. Okay? Again, slowly, we'll do it slowly. See him coming, sweep it way across. Front kicking the groin, landing down in the kidney. One here. Bam! Okay? Stood for the camera now. This is the way it'll look during your training. You'll be blocking, sidestepping this way, front kick, punch, punch, boom. Okay? Okay. This technique is called glancing scimitar. Right here, Ray. Raymond's going to be attacking me with a left lead jab like a boxer would. And basically, let me attack you to this angle here. It'll be easier to see that way. Okay, stay right about there, Ray. What happens is he throws a jab to the face. And I immediately see it coming in, and I just simply block it this way. While going to the ribs, boom, trying not to bust him too hard here. Going to the ribs here, like this, then I'm going to pivot around this way. Striking to the neck. Then, as he's there, I'm going to throw a hook kick to his face. Okay? We're going to have to be careful on the hook kick part, so we're going to take this kind of slow. We'll break it into two parts so that I see him punch. Right here. See? Elbow, knife hand strike. Okay? Now attack me from this angle, and we'll show the hook kick. So that he comes in, and I'm elbowing. 1, 2, striking here. Now we've got to be careful. We don't want to hit our opponent in the head. I'm going to bring my foot back slightly. Okay? And that's our hook kick coming around to the head. Okay? So we're basically going to be hitting to the temple and sweeping through. Okay? So this is what it looks like just by application by yourself practicing. You'll step in, parry past, elbow, pivot around. You could even throw another knife hand going. I usually use this hand as a check. Checking his hand, so let's show that in fact while we're doing this. He comes in, I'll block this way, here, and what I'm doing is I'm checking here with this hand, keeping this hand checked. So it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Still more this way. 1, knife hand, hook kick. Okay? That one. Okay? Okay, we're going to do Mace of Fury. What this is Ray, go ahead and get in your fighting stance. Okay? And the guy is going to throw this reverse punch off the rear hand here. I'm going to go right here immediately. I see the punch and do it for the camera here. We see the punch coming in. What we do is we sidestep here, reverse punch to the kidney. Bam. Here, front kick, reverse punch to the kidney again. If he falls over enough to the ground, you can punch to the face also. Now, that wasn't pounding waves, that was Mace of Fury. Okay. Let's do returning thunder. On this technique, he's going to throw a jab punch again. Now, you'll notice these are all against reverse punch and jab. What happens is I see the punch come in, and I come in this way. Hammer fisting the face. 1, 2 here. Now see, striking to the back of the neck with a hammer fist. Then I'm going to come up and stomp kick through the leg, elbow, back fist, and step away. So it looked like this. It comes in. Notice how I'm coming this way and blocking here with my right hand and throwing a hammer fist strike into the face. Bam. Hopefully that'll pop his head back when I hit him. And then when I come across here, bam, again to the temple. Driving down, stepping down. After I drive down, I step into him and go to the base of the head here. Elbow, back fist to the temple, step away. Okay? This is how this technique will look. I'll be sidestepping when I see the punch come in. I'll immediately start to sidestep, hammer fist strike, stomp kick, set down into the elbow, back fist, step away. Okay? Right? Now it's typically against the jab. He does a left jab to the face. I'm going to come this way and do a knife hand to the body. Then, bam! Coming here with a knife hand, palm heel to the face, punch to the body. Okay? Let's do it. We'll just stay there. We'll do it on this side. Okay? Why don't you come over here some more, right? Because that light's going to cause the camera to make us look blacker than hell. So he's going to throw a right punch. When he does, I see the punch coming in, okay, to the face. I'm immediately going to start to step into the cat stance, doing this windmill block. And as I do the windmill block, I'm stepping in and unloading the knife hand to the body here. Okay? Palm heel to the face. And then after the palm heel, the punch to the body. So it looked like this. Okay? Again. Right here. Palm here. Now from here, if I wanted to expand, I could. You stood right about here, right? Throw the punch again. If I want, I can expand. Boom. Palm punch. If I want to, boom, I hit him here, right? If I want to, I could do another palm heel strike. I could palm heel here. Elbow, back fist. Okay? You can add it from there. This technique is called Kung Fu Cross. And what it is the guy does a right overhead club strike. Now, anytime we're dealing with a weapon, go ahead. We want to get out of the path of the weapon. Okay? So what I first do, when I first see the weapon come in, I start to sidestep this way, out of the path of the weapon. And I immediately want to take, there's two things you want to do when a weapon comes in. You want to get out of the path of the weapon and immobilize the weapon immediately. So I see the weapon coming in. See what I did? I broke the arm right here. I took his momentum coming down, and all I did was lay my hand on top of his and come right up and break the arm here. Right in half here. From here, I'm going to strike to the groin. Okay? Back to the temple. Okay? So I see him come in, break, groin strike, back to the temple. Okay, again. Okay, good. That's called Kung Fu Cross. The way is your elbow okay, Rick? Trying to brutalize the elbow too much because it can get tough. What happens is I see the club coming in, and I'm going to step away from the club and augmenting, coming up, wrap my arm around the club and help him just go ahead and keep on coming down with that club right into my elbow. Here. Then I just, to the groin, push the club away, back fist to the temple, and of course, if you want, you can strike the leg here, strike the leg here. Where you are. Okay, we're going to do a technique called dodging crane. Same thing. The guy comes with an overhead club strike. And as usual, I want to do the same thing again. Get out of the way. Okay? Let's do it from the slight angle here. You know what? That damn light again. Why don't you get over this way? And attack with your left hand then, so that it will be open so they can see what's happening. What happens is the club's coming again. Again, I get out of line of attack, but this time all I'm doing is pushing the weapon over this way, okay? So I see the weapon coming down. I'm going right for the groin immediately. Bam, okay? Again. Okay, hopefully after I kick him in the groin, he'll start to come down. If he does, what I'll do is just set back this way and kick to the face. Okay, so it happens again. Okay, let's show it for the camera. Just sidestepping. Block 1, 2. Here, this moves at the same time as the foot. Set back, front kick again. Okay, it's up there. Okay, all right. This technique is called cutting the pagoda. I have no idea where we got that name either. I guess some guy was out chopping pagodas when they were with his elbows. Okay, what happens is we're going to have the same thing. We're going to have the downward club strike. And this time, this is a more advanced technique than the first two because we're not getting so much out of the way of the weapon as we were the first time. On this, it's important to remember the footwork. What we do is when we see the club coming down, we're going to slightly step to the side, and then we're going to step in this way. And not really doing so much a block, but this is really going to be to capture the arm. As we elbow strike, elbow to the head, strike to the throat, back fist, strike to the throat, or just a strike to the throat, or wipe the arm out of the way if he starts to come back. Okay, we're going to do this in 2 versions, by the way. So the first one is where we do the same thing. So, okay, go back, Ray. Well, I guess this would be the best angle to attack. And let's get over here in the shade a little more, because that light is going to make us darken out again. Okay, so he comes down with the club attack, and I'm going this way. I'm getting out of the way, but while I'm getting out, stay in that position, I'm getting out of the way, this way of the club, but I'm also stepping in. I'm not leaving. And I'm using this to keep this from coming at me anymore. And then I'm going to go this way, see? As I elbow strike, back fist, strike to the throat. Okay, with this leopard's paw. So I see him come in, boom, elbow, and back fist, and strike here. Okay? We'll do it slowly. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Back fist, strike. Now here's another alternative. Watch this. He comes in, the same thing, here, and I can also just step back and break the arm in half right here. And punch. Okay, that's a second alternative. So he comes down. See, I step, strike here, step back and break through the arm. And punch if I want. Okay? So the second version would look more like this. It would look like stepping off this way, grappling while striking here, and instead I just step back, break the arm, punch. Okay? Circling swords technique. On this technique, we want to be very careful because we have kind of a hard club. Well, broom handle is not very hard. I don't do much trouble to the guy here. But this technique is the same club attack. What we do is the guy, now you notice he's stepping off on this leg. That worked just fine. Go ahead and do it like that. I'm going to go this way and bash him across his leg. While that, I'm going to come up to here, knife hand, palm heel strike this way. Notice I stepped into the opponent, okay? It doesn't matter which leg he steps off of. Step off of the other leg. He comes in, and going down and striking himself across the leg, sword hand, palm heel this way. Coming up just like this, okay? If you wanted to, you could throw a ridge hand, maybe an uppercut, okay? So we'll do it slowly so he doesn't get injured on his leg. Again, see, I step out of the way of the weapon, right? And just merely guide it past with these hands going into the leg. Then going around, knife hand, bam, an attack here, ridge hand, palm heel. So it'll look like this in practice. Sidestep the club, sweep it away into the knee. Knife hand, step forward, and palm heel strike. It's called circling swords. Dancing mongoose. Dancing around, huh? On this technique, what happens, the reason why we call this dancing mongoose, is our opponent down as usual, he does this movement here. And then he tries to come back at us again. So he's attacking, boom, in this fashion here. Inward, outward, okay? So what happens is, I see him start to come in and attack. I immediately go back. He starts to come in again. I bridge the arm here, and as I bridge the arm with this cross block, back fist to this space here. After I back fist, I'm going to break the arm here where he's holding this, the club, okay? Okay. So what happens is I go back, 1, 2, okay, from here, back fist, strike the elbow, okay? Real simple technique, but it's a good one because, you know, we're paying attention closely to getting away from the first move, second move, 1, 2, okay? So what we're doing is, we see the club come in, this is where the mongoose name, I suppose, comes from, and then we step back this way, like the mongoose does. Then we shuffle in, repositioning both feet, and do this X block. Reach around and grapple, back fist strike to the temple, or the nose, whichever is available, then arm break, okay? Okay, now we're going to be talking about self-defense against knife attacks. And these are going to be advanced self-defense against knife attacks. What I mean by advanced is that in your intermediate stages, it's a green belt or whatever, you're going to be defending against the knife by grappling. And as I said before, Ray, you want to come over here for a minute? Why don't you get on this side out of the sunlight so it will show up better. The knife, just like anything else, when it comes in, you want to get out of its path, right? Now, typically on the beginning techniques, we always apply a wrist lock or something. Knife hand to the elbow. There's a lot of things you can do. I can also step to the outside, coming this way, and applying the hold here. Go ahead and fall right. I don't want you to break your wrist. And this is an outer wrist lock. Now from here, I can actually come in and break his arm across my knee. Once I've taken him down, all I do is step in and break the elbow right across here. I can stomp to the throat, do other things. So this is what the beginner against a knife attack that is would be using. Stuff like this, where he would be sidestepping and mobilizing the weapon this way, going to the outside of the weapon, applying a hold, breaking across the knee, okay? We're going to be doing techniques where we're not immobilizing the knife so much, because that's the main concern, is getting that knife immobilized, getting out of its path and immobilizing it. Here we're going to be a little bit more advanced. Let's do it from this angle, Ray. What we're going to have is, he's going to come in again with the straight knife thrust to the stomach. I'm going to be sidestepping this way. And if you watch closely, what you'll see is I'm going to be breaking his arm in half right here. I'm going to be doing a palm heel strike to the elbow. This technique, by the way, is called tumbling clouds because of the motion, because of this motion, okay? He comes in, I break here. Hopefully after breaking his arm, that will release the knife. He loses the knife. Then from here, all I do is rotate my hand over the top, spear finger, knife hand strike to the throat. Okay? There's your knife, Mr. Disruptive. So he comes in. Hey! Hey, did you catch that? We'll do it again slowly. He comes in, I sidestep, getting completely out of the way, and striking here, and then coming around, coming to the eyes, and then unloading a powerful knife, okay? Unloading a powerful knife hand to the throat. I really want to crush that pipe. Okay, let's look at it now, just practicing by yourself. I'm going to be sidestepping the knife this way while using my palm heel and a knife hand strike to the wrist area, locking the joint out. Then rotate over, spear finger to the eye, knife hand strike. So it looked like this. Okay? Tumbling clouds. All right. We're going to do a technique called locking the gate. This is kind of a mixture of circling swords, which we did earlier, circling swords, and the one we just did. Okay? The technique tumbling clouds, at the end of tumbling clouds. What happens on this one is the guy does the downward knife attack. Okay? So he's got his knife, and he comes in, and all I do is, hi-ya! See? I stab him in his own leg with it. Now here we actually caught him above the knee and the upper thigh. Preferably, I like to get in the middle of his thigh, but that's okay. I'll settle for this. So again, let's take it slow. Again, we sidestep. We get out of the path of the weapon. Always get out of the path of the weapon. And in this case, I don't struggle with the weapon. I'm actually going to give him a hand. I'm going to help him complete his stab technique, but unfortunately, he's the one getting stabbed. So I sidestep and I come here. From here, I'm going to come up and elbow strike to the head. And after I elbow strike to the head, hopefully that's going to hit him in the head and drive his head back, so that after this, I'm going to come to the throat again. Boom. Okay? And the name of the technique, locking latch, locking gate, is because of this movement here. Bam! Locking the gate. Elbow strike. Knife hand strike to the throat. Okay, again. We'll show it slowly. Strike, elbow, knife hand. Okay? This is how it'll look when you're doing it by yourself practicing. You'll be stepping out of the way of the weapon, taking both hands, sweeping them into his own leg. From there, that's one thing we should do again in a second here. Keeping your hand check there, elbow up, elbow straight up, and then pivot around and knife hand strike. Pivot around for power. We're going to show the hand check. When he comes in, here, when I elbow up here, you notice I keep my hand down here because I don't want him to keep doing things with the weapon down here. I elbow strike, knife hand. Okay? We'll do it from this angle. This will be the straight knife thrust. Now okay, we're going to do a technique now called whirling blades. Again, a very advanced technique. And the reason why is because we're not trying to immobilize the weapon, getting a hold of it and stuff, okay? So the guy does the same straight knife attack to the stomach. Notice how I just removed the knife from his hand by hitting it with a hard knife hand strike right across the wrist here. It's a little bit red, and that's what I want to do. Bam! Remove that knife out of the hand. As soon as I do that, I want to knife hand strike to the throat, to the neck here again, and then back up to the nose. Okay? So I won't hit you as hard this time, so we're not worried about you losing your knife so much. So it's this way. Let's do it from this angle so we can see better. Okay? Whirling blades. Okay? And here's what we're doing. We'll do it from this angle a little bit. I see him coming in with a knife. I'm sidestepping out of the way and striking it and getting rid of the knife. And when I come back to this way, I want to make sure I keep my hand in the check position before I come for the next knife hand. Strike, strike, strike here, and then from there, I can go to the groin if I want. So here's how it looks in practice. Sidestep, strike the knife. Strike out again, hand check, strike, strike. Notice how I'm pivoting all the time. So I come in, just like that. Strike. Okay. One more technique. Startled cat. Meow. Ready, go here for a second? This technique is called startled cat. What happens is my opponent comes in here like this with the knife to the straight thrust. My immediate reaction, and this is an advanced technique because, again, we're not getting the weapon immobilized. So you've got to be advanced enough to do this. I see the knife coming in. I'm going to go this way with the palm. And it's going to look just like this. Palm striking in here. I'm going to sandwich the head. And I'm going to grab, if I sandwich the head here like this, I'm going to grab his chin in the back of the head and I'm going to break his neck in half. Come back to the throat. Okay? This is a death technique. This is for black belts only. And I don't want anybody practicing this that's not a black belt. And kids, don't do this at home. I am a professional. Okay, so Ray, let's get at this angle so people can see a little better. First thing I do is I see the knife coming in and I sidestep out of the way of the knife. This way. As I do sidestep again, coming, palming off the face, coming in and striking immediately. Grab and hold and break his neck in half and then go into the throat again. Okay, so it looked like this. I got to be careful because I don't want to pop him. Okay, so go back and attack again. Ready? camera. Okay? What we do is we see the knife coming in. We immediately sidestep, jumping, basically jumping really more than anything else. That's why it's called startle cat. Palming through here, into the jaw, step in, elbow, break the neck, attack the throat with a double knife hand. So it looked like this again. Real smooth. Okay, Scott, okay, this tape has been made for Scott and Kasha. Of course, I'm not telling who's going to watch it, but that's okay. This is just to give you an idea of some alternatives to the typical regular techniques of block and punch, block and, typical block and punch. And the idea is that we mixed up things when we sidestep and did hammer, fist, knife, hand. We have a lot of techniques where we're blocking and punching. This is just to give you an idea of other ways of attack. Thank you, and until we meet again.
Ron.